Soldier, keep on marching on. Head down till the work is done. Waiting on that morning sun. Soldier, keep on marching on. Oh, 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 oh,
So, wait, let me get this straight. You're saying that the reason why Nico left me and the Moray was afraid of me is because I'm some kind of demon slayer? Solomon asks. I sat next to him at the tables that had been cleared of that wonderful chili that Nuria made, everyone for dinner. She had taken her two little girls upstairs to lay them down for the night, but their son Dawid, who was the most serious little boy I had ever met, sat next to his father, listening as Solomon Sr. spoke words that was changing Solomon's Jr. life forever. Son, look around you. You are in a room full of demon slayers. What is happening to you is slightly different. Lion, myself, and the other ox. We have to use our hands and weapons to physically slay demons. You would only need prayer. What? I don't understand. I cannot fully explain your relationship with the Almighty Power. Only you can figure that out. But from what I can see, you have attracted wisdom. And there is a spirit that surrounds wisdom that will protect it most fiercely. This spirit is what demons fear. We, my brothers and I, can only slay the host, but the demonic spirit lives on to try and find another home or another host. However, the Ruach HaKodesh can ban these spirits to a place of absolute darkness. Once there, they have to remain until judgment. And this is what they fear the most. What is this Ruach HaKodesh? Solomon Sr. corrected. It is the spirit of the Almighty Power. It is the spirit that fiercely protects wisdom. It is of all, in all. It is what has given you your gift. And Senior words halted. He looked down at his hands before he spoke again. It is what will take it away if you don't use it wisely. What do I do with this gift Senior supplied? That is for you to find out. None of us here can develop a relationship with the Ancient of Days for you. You will have to seek him out and then listen. However, I would suggest that you stay here for a while where we can protect you until you can protect yourself and your wife. Solomon Jr. turned to look at me. Oh, y'all, he was fighting a battle within himself. He knew that his life was getting ready to change, and maybe he didn't really want it to. But for me, to keep me safe, he turned back to his father. Protect us from what? Demons, Lion supplied. Now that you are aware and is standing at the crossroad, you have become a very dangerous man to them. They will try and kill you now. They? Who are they? What are they? Where are they? Lion chuckled at Solomon's question. Everywhere. They outnumber man about 50 to 1. Maybe more. In spirit form, they cannot feel or taste. They cannot sleep. It is misery to them. They must have a host to feel through it. Bodies are created for them synthetically, but they are flawed, and they don't live for very long. Synthetically, I asked. Senior nodded. Clones. They mass-produce them. Empty vessels, perfect for the demonic spirit. Only, they malfunction often, and they don't live very long. How long, Junior asked. 24 hours, 48 if top quality material is used. The demons really don't care for these vessels. Why not, I asked. Well, if you found a home, would you want to be evicted every 2 days? They like human vessels, but it takes a while for the human to be able to be inhabited. Why? What has to happen for them to be able to be inhabited, Junior asked. The human must become an empty vessel. The strong man must be removed. You're talking in riddles, Pop. Senior chuckled. Only because you have not read the scriptures. The strong man is the Ruach HaKodesh. Each human is born with their share. You can nourish the spirit within and it grows stronger, or you can sin and it grows weaker. The Ruach protects you from demons. The stronger it is within you, the better you are protected. These vessels a demon cannot inhabit because it is already full. So the demon begins to whisper to the vessel it wants to inhabit. The more it can get the vessel to sin, the weaker it makes it. What does sin have to do with it? Junior asked. The Ruach does not dwell with sin. However, there are two kinds of sin. There is sin that can be forgiven, and then there is sin unto death. When you sin unto death, it means you have blasphemed the Ruach and killed it within you. Without the Ruach, there is no life. You have become an empty vessel, and now belongs to the demon that will fill you and control you. But I don't understand. If the Ruach is so powerful, how can it be killed? Oh, no, you misunderstand, son. It cannot be killed. However, your portion of it can. Each individual is given a portion, and what you choose to do with it will determine your outcome. Junior rubbed his head frustratingly. I can't just walk away from my life. I've got responsibilities, duties. So many people depend on me. I can't just walk away. His words died as he looked up at his father. Like me? Is that what you were going to say? Yah said, let us create man in our image. Junior looked confused at his father's words. What? That's why I walked away from it all. In the book of Genesis, we are shown two images, the image of Yah and the image of Satan. I chose, perhaps too late, but I chose the image of Yah. And before you judge me, hear the whole of the matter. You're looking at only one side. How can you make a decision without looking at the whole? Look at the whole, son, and then decide. Junior stared at his father for a long time before he stood. He reached his hand down to me. I took it, and he gently pulled me to my feet. It's a lot to think about. I need time. Thank you for having us, Nuria. The meal was lovely, he said to Lion's wife. She came to us and hugged us both. I'm praying for y'all, Akoti, she whispered in my ear. Toda, I told her. Solomon Sr. helped me put on my coat. Don't worry, Bot. All things work together for the good, for those who trust in Yah, he quietly told me. I nodded, but I was worrying. Solomon was my husband now, and he was in danger, not just from demons. If he decided not to let go of the world, then Yah will take his gift from him. He will take away wisdom. Follow them, Lion said as soon as Junior and his wife left. Big Ak and the twins disappeared through the doors of the gym. Mouse opened his laptop. I need him closer to me, Senior told him. No problem, Mouse said, clicking away. We won't have long. His mother and her coven will be coming for him soon, Senior told Lion. Okay, well, go and make yourself and your home available for them. Once we get him tucked safely behind your walls, We'll just have to let Yah do the rest. I'll go and prepare a room for them. Mouse, call me after it's done. I have to be the first to talk to him before he calls his assistant. Will do, Mouse said without looking up from his computer. What do you mean my credit card is declined? Solomon angrily asked the hotel clerk. I looked around embarrassed. We were staying at the Hilton downtown Chicago, and the people that stayed here had probably never heard such words. They all looked at us as if we had brought in a virus off the street, the "your credit card has declined" virus. Sir, I can only tell you what my computer says, and it says that your card is declined. The man was sweating. Shoot, I would be too if I had a 250-pound black man breathing angrily down at me. I don't give a damn what your computer say. My card is not declined. I put my hand on his arm. Let's just walk over to the lounge there and see if we can figure out what's happening, I suggested. Solomon looked down at me, his nostrils flaring like an angry bull, before he looked back up at the clerk and did something so immature. He actually jumped at the poor man, causing him to screech and dive to the floor. Solomon, I said. I couldn't believe he did that. I know. I should have did that, right? He took my hand, leading me to the lounge. As soon as we sat, his phone rang. Yeah, he said in his receiver, clearly still irritated. Man, something going on with my credit card. Went to put my key in my room door and the damn thing wouldn't open. Come down here to the desk and this fairy trying to tell me my card has been declined. I'm getting ready to call my assistant now so she can get this all straightened out. I scooted closer so that I could hear. It sounded like Solomon Sr.'s voice. Won't you guys just come stay here with me? I've got all this extra space. I'm sure your wife is tired, and you guys can get some rest and then try and figure things out later. Solomon looked down at me, his eyes searching mine. I know he didn't want to go stay with his father, but for me, he excelled. I guess it won't hurt to stay tonight. I smiled to myself as he took down his dad's address. I don't know why, but it felt like this was the right thing to do. Senior didn't stay too far away from the gym. In fact, he was right around the corner. His home was pretty spacious too. I bought this old place for little to nothing. These homes been around since the days of Al Capone, he said as he showed us in. It is really nice, I said, looking around. It looked like he had remodeled it, but it still had that 1920s feel to it. Thank you, he said. Let me show you guys to your room. We followed him up 3 flights of stairs. He led us to the only room on the 3rd floor. When I first bought this place some years ago, I had hoped that maybe when you turned 18, you would come stay here with me. So I got this floor set up for you, Senior said quietly. He opened the double doors at the end of the hall to a huge bedroom that was half decorated for a teen boy going into manhood. A wooden king-size bed sat in the center of the room. Because this room was on the corner of the house, there were 6 big windows. There was a fireplace that had been lit and now cast a warm glow over the room. I loved it. I looked up at Solomon, but he was still not smiling. In fact, he had a serious frown on his face. You don't like it? His father asked. It'll do for tonight. Senior exhaled. He looked like he wanted to say something else, but he changed his mind. All right, son. I'll let y'all get some rest. Your bathroom is through those doors. It should be some towels and things in the linen cabinet. Junior nodded, holding the door open for his father. Good night, Bop, he said to me, kissing me on my forehead. Good night, Abba, I whispered back to him. He stared at me for a minute as tears came to his eyes. He smiled through them. Toda. I nodded. He thanked me for calling him father. When he left, Solomon closed the doors. Then he walked straight towards me, picking me up off my feet. He walked to the bed and fell back in it. I laughed as we both bounced me on top of him. He wrapped his arms around me, holding me close, burying his head in my chest. My brain is on overload right now. His voice was muffled. I began to run my hands through his locks. I know, it's so much to take in. He brought his head up out of my bosom and looked up at me. What am I supposed to do with all this? I shook my head. It's like the parable of the talents. He looked thoughtful. What is the parable of the talents? He asked. I got up out of the bed and went to my backpack. I took out my Bible. I walked back to the bed and I sat on it with my legs folded. I giggled because Solomon buried his head in my lap. The Messiah sometimes spoke in parables, I began, so that those who wasn't meant to understand would not, and those that was meant to understand would. But the amazing part about the parables is, for those who was meant to understand, it was like they would, but on different levels, you know? It's the most extraordinary thing. It's like you can use the parables to determine how far you've come, and your scripture will warn you. The word is a living, breathing, moving thing. It's hard for me to explain. What do you mean scriptural understanding? He asked. Well, anyone who studies the scripture in truth will tell you that you never stop learning with them, you know? For example, I read my Bible from cover to cover when I was 16. I had a pretty good understanding. But then I started over, and now it's like the word is showing me things that I had not seen before. My Ima had read her Bible a few times as well. She say Yah always gives her just a little bit more each time. I asked her, how far could the understanding go? When could one fully say that they've learned it all? She say, well, the Father Yah is in the highest heaven. And since we don't know what he knows, if it's his will, there's always room to receive more. I smiled thinking about my Ima. She was always bestowing little pieces of wisdom on me. And now that she's gone, I could see them for the jewels that they are. Your Ima sounds like a wise woman, Solomon said, as he reached up and dried a tear from my cheek. I put my hands to my face. Goodness, I didn't even know I was crying. I chuckled. Look at me, being a big baby again. Anyway, where was I? The parable of the talents, he supplied. Right. I opened my Bible to Matthew 25. A man going away from home called his own servants and delivered his possessions to them. To one he gave 5 talents, and to another 2, and to another 1, to each according to his own ability. And he went from home. And he who had received the 5 talents went and worked them, and made another 5 talents. In the same way, he with the 2 also, he gained 2 more. But he who had received the 1 went away and dug it in the ground, and hid the silver of his master. And after a long time the master of the servants came and settled accounts with them. And he who had received the 5 talents came and brought 5 other talents, saying, Master, you delivered to me 5 talents. See, I have gained 5 more talents besides them. And his master said to him, Well done, good and trustworthy servant. You were trustworthy over a little, and I shall set you over much. Enter into the joy of your master. Then he who had received 2 talents came and said, Master, you delivered to me 2 talents. See, I have gained 2 more talents beside them. His master said to him, Well done, my good and trustworthy servant. You were trustworthy over a little, and I shall set you over much. Enter into the joy of your master. And the one who received the 1 talent also came and said, Master, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you have not sown, and gathering where you have not scattered seed. And being afraid, I went and hid your talent in the ground. See, you have what is yours. And his master answering said to him, You wicked and lazy servant, you knew that I reap where I have not sown, and I gather where I have not scattered seed. Then you should have put my silver with the bankers, and at my coming I would have received back my own with interest. Therefore, take away the talent from him, and give it to he who possesses 10 talents. For to everyone who possesses, more shall be given, and he shall have overflowingly. But from him who does not possess, even that which he possesses shall be taken away. I looked at him when I finished. What did you get from that? I asked. He sat up thinking hard. Yah has given me this gift. I could be like the good servant, seek Yah and grow this gift. Or I can be like the wicked servant and just kind of ignore it. But on the day of judgment, I will have to answer to why I did. I nodded. Yeah, that's what I see too. I reached for his hand, playing with his fingers. What are you going to do? I asked. He looked off to the side. What if I fail? What if I can't do this? It's like my Ima used to say, if was a fifth, we'll all be drunk. You can't listen to doubt, King, because doubt is the adversary working hard to stop you. I believe you can do it. Well, look, it don't really matter what I believe. There's a higher power that also believes in you. If not, he wouldn't have given you such a gift. He looked back at me with a smile on his face. He must trust me dearly because he gifted me with you. I bit my lip, trying not to smile too hard, but I was failing. He leaned in to kiss me. There's another gift I want, and only you can give it to me, he said as he kissed my neck right underneath my ear. What? I asked. It's my new addiction, he whispered. What? I asked again. With strong arms, he gently lifted me so that I lay on the bed underneath him. He kissed my lips. I'm addicted to your lips. He kissed me again deeply. I moaned as my body responded to his. I clutched his dreads in both of my hands. I'm addicted to your taste, he said, kissing my neck. I'm addicted to... Well, y'all get the picture. I'll pick back up on my story a little later. Shalom.